When you're trying to save, save our great nation, when you're trying to deal with these massive deficits that we have, you have to use your head and not your heart. And when you're dealing with a president that, let's face it, is a spendaholic and really has shown no leadership on this issue, you have to use your head. And at the end of the day, on a big vote like this, when I go to the floor, defining vote, I can run. You can always vote no. Or you can vote as if you're the deciding vote on a bill. And I looked at the policy of where we were going to be if we didn't pass it, or where we would be if we did. And while it was like eating a you-know-what sandwich to vote for this, to me it was a rite of passage to this quarter. And what I would say to all of you who know that Congress and the President is hurting the economy, there's no question Washington is hurting our economy, that this next quarter needs to be about one thing. And this is going to be much uglier to me than the tax issue. The tax issue was kind of a sugar debate, you know, how many people are you going to keep from having a tax increase? This is going to be about entitlement reform. And I would say to the business community, I would not give one dime to a politician on either side of the aisle that will not sign on right now to specific entitlement changes. Don't let them tell you they're for entitlement reform. Specific entitlement changes. And what I would say also to the business community is don't be a lackey for the president like so many business leaders were this last go-around. The president has never offered one dime in specific cuts. I was having people call me, oh gosh, you know, come together, rise above. The president's offered $1 trillion. If you can find that, show it to me.
So, Senator, tell me, what specific entitlement reforms would you sign up for?
I've actually offered a bill, did it last week, did it 2 weeks ago, that's $1 trillion in entitlement reforms and $1 trillion in debt ceiling increase. And that's what this debate is going to be about over this next quarter. And it's the only thing, in my opinion, that's going to save this nation. People are paying 1/3 of the Medicare cost in our country today. We have 20 million more Americans coming on Medicare over the next decade. So this quarter should be the quarter that everybody focuses on entitlement reform. This is our best opportunity to do those things to save our nation. The House members who voted against this bill, and I understand it, believe me, emotionally, I wanted to vote against this bill and had probably more reason than most to do that. The House members that voted against it, I hope they will join me in this dollar-for-dollar bill that's been laid out that really it has some very tough measures to deal with both Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. We all know that they have to happen, but look, age increases, co-pays, means testing, putting in place a competitive situation between Medicare Advantage and fee-for-service. I got CBO to score that at $290 billion. One of the things we cannot do, Becky, I know the House has been focused on measures that put these decisions off or put the measures off for 10 years. We cannot do that. We need to go ahead and implement changes now. So look, I'm disappointed at where we are. I'm disappointed that we have a president that used this leverage in the way that he did and didn't offer any kind of spending reductions. But now the leverage is gone. And now it's time for a sober conversation. And now it's time for the business community, which should be on strike because we are affecting the business of this country and candidly of the world. The business community can play a role by not giving one penny, not one penny, to any politician that won't sign up right now for specific entitlement changes. Don't let them tell you they're for entitlement reform. Get them to tell you specifically what they're willing to do and what they're willing to do as it relates to the debt ceiling, the CR, and the sequester. The changes would take place immediately in most cases. But in the beginning, as you know, they're very minor as it relates to actual dollars. They build over time. And so if you can get $1 trillion during the first 10 years with $1 trillion debt increase, you've got tens and $20 trillion down the road. So what you want to do is go ahead and begin those now. The longer we put this off, I think all of you know, the more draconian the decisions are, the deeper they are. So we need to go ahead and implement these now. And again, I would say one other thing to the business community, which I think can play a great role in this. To anybody who says they're not going to vote for a debt ceiling increase, period, they're taking themselves out of the game. Don't support them either. Don't give them a penny. Because what we need is for people who will vote for entitlement reform and a debt ceiling increase. If you're not going to be part of the process, period, you have no role. You're taking yourself out of the game.